All right, you guys, one actress has been in everything from the Hunger Games all the way to the Game of Thrones. Some big things.
Yeah, absolutely. And now our entertainment reporter is talking to her about her latest project. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Our Hollywood happening today takes a trip in the forest.
My sister, Jess,
And I.
we're identical twins. When something happens to one of us, the other one can tell. It's hard to explain, but I can just feel it. She's in trouble and she needs me.
A film about an American woman, Sarah, played by Natalie Dormer, who journeys to a forest in Japan in search of her twin sister who has mysteriously disappeared.
Now, is it true that this story is based on a real forest in Japan?
It is true. The Okagahara forest is underneath Mount Fuji in Japan.
Oh.
And it's a very sacred place to the Japanese, but it also has some unsavory history to it as well.
In other words, it's got a bad reputation.
Yeah, it's a lot of people go in and don't come out again. They make that choice. So it's a very interesting premise to make this kind of movie.
Enough said. And you did go there to visit the real forest?
I absolutely did. And we didn't shoot our shoot there. We shot in Serbia for the forest, but I visited the Okagahara when we were in Japan, and my Japanese driver, would not leave the path. I wanted to step in a couple of meters, take some photos, and he was very helpful, but he didn't want to leave the path at all. He stayed.
And you don't want to stay after dark either.
No, I wouldn't want to be there on my own after dark.
But I guess the forest in Serbia was very, very close to the one in Japan.
Yes, in look, definitely.
In look, yeah.
The match was very good. The location scouts deserve a badge for that.
You play two roles, Sarah and your sister Jess, twin sisters. Do you believe some way from your research that twins are connected in a way?
I believe it was very interesting. My dresser on the movie, she was one of identical twins. And so I spoke to her a lot, my Serbian dresser, and she had friends who are identical twins. And what I've come to understand is that some twins feel they have it and some twins not so much. Yeah. So, but my character definitely. You
definitely have it. You can actually feel each other, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with this, but I thought the film was more psychological than supernatural.
I would agree with you. It's very much a psychological horror. It's all about the unraveling of one individual's mind. And so that's why I hope people find it scarier, because it feels like something that could happen to yourself, that you would travel to the other side of the world for someone that you love who's missing, be it your child, your brother, your sister, your parents, your lover. And from there, when you're exposed to the barren wilderness of a place, you look inside yourself and everything you've kept under control in your modern life back at home starts to unravel.
Well, accompanying Sarah on her journey into the forest is a charismatic new acquaintance, Australian journalist Aidan, played by Taylor Kinney.
Taylor, good to see you and congratulations. Good performance in the forest.
Great, appreciate it.
You know, before we get into the movie, just quickly, I live in Arizona, as you know. But yet I'm a Chicago guy. And Chicago, my hometown, has been pretty good to your career. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's really become home. When I first started with Chicago Fire, the show, we finished season 1, and I worked. I did a project, and you're kind of scattered about, and I have maybe 2 months off a year, and I had a lot of things there in Chicago. I have my personal stuff, which for the past maybe 10 years I've been bouncing around just on jobs that last a few weeks, a few months, but nothing to the extent that it is now.
Yeah, right.
And I came back from the project, and it was the first time in a long time that I had somewhere that was home.
It's home,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Speaking of home, the forest.
Yeah.
Is it true it's based on a real forest range in Japan?
Yes, it's based off of the Okagahara forest, which is about maybe 2 hours outside of Tokyo. And the history of it dates back tens, 20s, hundreds of years. It's a quiet forest at the base of Mount Fuji. Just weird activity. There's iron deposits. It's really quiet. There's no wildlife, and the lure of it is that people have gone there to kill themselves.
I'm coming, Jess. I'm looking for my sister. She went into a forest. I want to hire a guide.
No guide. Forest is very dangerous.
Spirits cannot rest there. They come back. Angry.
Well, The Forest is a supernatural thriller that's set in the forest known as Jukai at the base of Japan's Mount Fuji. For decades, this forest has been associated with death and torment and makes the perfect setting for a scary thriller. Of course, the outcome is somewhat predictable, but the cast and director do a good job of setting the audience up for a surprise ending. It's rated PG-13, my grade a C+.
At night, people see bad things.